This is Buffy Summers. She's a vampire slayer, but she wasn't the first and she isn't the last. So what exactly is a slayer and why do the forces of darkness fear them? But before we get into what exactly a slayer is, we should discuss what exactly Buffy the Vampire Slayer is as a TV show.
Does the word duh mean anything to you?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer is a cult classic TV show created by Joss Whedon that ran from 1997 to 2003. It follows Buffy Summers, a chosen slayer destined to battle vampires, demons, and other forces of darkness along with her loyal friends such as the Scooby Gang. Told through a mix of standalone adventures and season-long arcs, each year centers around a powerful big bad villain while also exploring themes of identity, destiny, and sacrifice. The show masterfully blends drama, horror, comedy, romance, and even musical storytelling into one unforgettable series. Set in the seemingly quiet town of Sunnydale, which is built upon a hellmouth, the gang constantly faces supernatural threats while juggling the everyday struggles of growing up. From classic vampires to heavy themes of demonic foes and human villains, Buffy's world expands through battles fought with strength, wit, and even magic. The story begins with one girl alone, Buffy Summers, gifted with strength and the skills to stand against the vampires and the forces of darkness. Known as the Slayer, she is a part of a mystic line of young women chosen to battle evil in all its forms. Though called the Vampire Slayer, her duty extended to fight demons, dark magic, and even threats to humanity. Traditionally, only one Slayer existed at the time. While one died, another one was called. This cycle lasted for a millennia until Buffy's actions in 2003 changed everything, activating countless potential Slayers around the world and giving them the choice to embrace their power. The first Slayer, Sania, was a young African woman infused with the essence of an ancient demon by tribal elders known as the Shadow Men. Their ritual granted her immense strength, speed, healing, and prophetic dreams, but at the cost of her humanity. Despite her primal nature, she became a fierce protector of the innocent and a slayer of the last pure demon to walk the earth. After her death, Sania's power passed on to another, and her spirit continued to guide the future slayers through visions and dreams. The descendants of the Shadow Men eventually became the Watchers Council, an organization tasked with finding, training, and advising slayers, though their methods were often harsh and morally gray. Because the life of a slayer was short and dangerous, many never lived long after being called. To ensure that the line endured, countless girls around the world would be born as potential slayers.
Yes, you have. You are the chosen one. You alone can stop them.
Who?
The vampires.
Waiting unknowingly for destiny to choose them. The selection was random, mysterious, and not bound by bloodline. Buffy herself was chosen unexpectedly, proving that fate moves by its own design. The Slayer line continued unbroken until 1997, when Buffy Summers briefly died in battle, only to be revived moments later by her best friend Xander. Though she kept her powers, her death triggered a fracture in the line, and a new Slayer, Kendra Young, was called, marking the first time in history two active Slayers existed simultaneously.
I'm Kendra, the Vampire Slayer.
After Kendra's death at the hands of the vampire Drusilla, another Slayer named Faith Lahan was called.
You're Buffy, right? Oh, I'm Faith.
And while Kendra and Buffy were complete opposites, Faith and Buffy shared a deeper connection, mirroring each other's strengths and flaws. Faith's fall into darkness and eventual redemption with Angel's help highlighted how thin the line between hero and villain could be for a Slayer. Both women struggled with the idea that the Slayer mantle was never meant to be shared. Buffy's later death and resurrection in 2001 disrupted the ancient Slayer magic, allowing the first evil to rise in an attempt to wipe out all potential Slayers through its agents, the Bringers. In response, Giles, Buffy's watcher, at the time gathered surviving potentials in Sunnydale, where Buffy trained them to stand up and fight for themselves. Together they formed a new generation of warriors ready to face the first evil and end the cycle of isolation that defined the Slayer's destiny. In 2003, the rules of the Slayer line changed forever. When Buffy discovered that the ancient scythe, crafted by the Secret Guardians, she used Willow's help to infuse this magic to activate every potential Slayer in the world, ending the one girl in all the world legacy. The powers and skill set of the Slayer is pretty straightforward. Now, the activation of a Slayer is generally overwhelming but empowering. Each Slayer felt something different. Some were flooded with strength while others were struck by a surge so powerful it knocked them off their feet. In that instant, their powers awakened along with an overwhelming instinct to fight and to protect. During the final battle of the Hellmouth, the newly activated Slayers immediately charged into battle against the Turuk Khan, their fear replaced by courage. In other cases, a girl activated miles away instantly saved her friend from an oncoming truck, her Slayer reflexes already in full effect. The powers granted to a Slayer were extraordinary physical abilities that far surpassed normal human limits. Rather than drawing from external magic, these gifts enhanced their natural strength, speed, agility, reflexes, and endurance. While stronger than most vampires, the Slayer's true advantage came from skill, discipline, and experience. Buffy trained constantly to maintain her edge, knowing even a Slayer's power could dull without effort. Illness or emotional strain could weaken her, showing that beneath the strength she was still human. Yet over time, her endurance grew. What once left her in a near-death state barely slowed her down years later. As stated previously, Slayers demonstrate immense strength, capable of bending metal, hurling enemies across rooms, breaking bones, and punching through solid walls. Buffy herself lifted steel beams, shattered blades, and even snapped a demon's chest open with a single strike. Despite their slim build, Slayer's powers are supernatural, not muscular. Their speed and reflexes were just as remarkable. Buffy could catch arrows, dodge bullets, and intercept a crowbar midair to protect her sister. She ran fast enough to chase down moving vehicles and could leap from rooftops in seconds. Whether through instinct or training, Slayers move with precision and grace, their agility as lethal as their strength. A Slayer's body was far tougher than any human's, built to withstand extreme punishment and recover with astonishing speed. While not invincible, her resilience made her a living weapon against the forces of darkness. Buffy survived electrical shocks, car accidents, explosions, and beatings that would have killed a normal person, often walking away with only a few bruises. Faith endured comas, falls from great heights, and powerful tranquilizers, recovering fast enough to keep fighting. Despite their strength, Slayers could still be knocked out, wounded, and even killed by bullets, blades, and strong mystical forces. Their endurance was legendary. Buffy once joked that she had the stamina of 10 men, and Faith could train relentlessly without tiring. Slayers also possess heightened senses and awareness, able to detect movement in total darkness or sense unseen attackers. While with training, some Slayers could even feel the presence of vampires nearby. Dreams connected all Slayers across time, granting them prophetic dreams, prophetic visions, and shared experiences of battles in the past, linking every chosen one with an unbroken chain of strength, struggle, and destiny. A Slayer possessed incredible natural fighting instincts. Even without memory of her training, Buffy effortlessly took down several vampires guided purely by instinct and reflex. Dana, who appeared an angel, fought toe-to-toe with Spike despite lacking former combat experience. Their weapon mastery came just as natural. When Giles introduced Buffy to the quarterstaff, she bested him on her first try. He quickly realized she didn't need the usual months of practice. Faith shows similar aptitude, landing precise headshots on vampires soon after learning how to shoot. Even potential Slayers demonstrate eminent combat skill. Amanda, untrained and newly aware of her potential Slayerhood, managed to defeat a vampire and fought off bringers on her own. This natural talent was believed to stem from shared Slayer dreams, visions of every battle fought across generations, giving each chosen one a lifetime of experience before even picking up a weapon. However, the tragedy comes in from the beginning. The Slayer was always meant to fight alone, guided only by her watcher. The first Slayer, Sania, lived in isolation, feared even by those she protected. Tradition dictated that a Slayer remained separate from the world, detached for her safety and the safety of others. However, Buffy broke that mold. With her friends and family by her side, she redefined what it meant to be a chosen one. But thank you for watching. This is going to be a start of an ongoing series where I examine the lore of Buffy the Vampire Slayer before the reboot in 2026, so that way you're all informed. But please let me know what you think in the comments below. Anything I miss for all my Buffy people that know a lot about Buffy. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.